Ouagadougou, 2023. The Grand Security Conference Hall buzzed with international tension. Suits and uniforms filled every row. Ambassadors, intelligence officers, and advisors from across Africa and Europe. Amid the chatter, a man in plain clothes sat quietly in the back, scribbling notes. No one paid him much attention. Then came a snide voice, unmistakably British. "Hey, you in the corner. Stop pretending to understand. Local fixers don't take notes." Heads turned. The speaker was Sir Jonathan Wells, head of a covert British operation in West Africa, officially a regional security consultant, his Oxford accent cut like a blade. The man in plain clothes looked up, calm, composed. "I am part of this delegation," Wells scoffed. "Really? Since when do village scribes attend intelligence briefings?" Another agent leaned in, snarling. "He could be a terrorist plant." "We've seen this tactic before." The murmurs swelled, phones lifted, a few chuckled. "Get a video. This'll be great for the boys back home." Traoré rose slowly, meeting Wells's gaze. "I have every right to be here." But security didn't listen. A pair of foreign guards shoved him back, guiding him toward the exit. "No credentials, no entry," one barked. The cameras rolled as he was pushed through the doors. No resistance, no words, just a steady, unreadable stare. Outside, the video uploaded within minutes. African delegate removed for faking credentials. Laughter spread across private channels, shared by foreign agents as an inside joke. No one knew that the man they had just expelled was not only part of the delegation, he led the country they were standing in. Inside the secure rooms of the British compound in Ouagadougou, agents reviewed intercepted emails and intelligence maps. Wells stood at the centre briefing his team. "Our source in the north confirms movement near the Sahel," he said. "Once the operation completes, we'll have eyes in every sector." A junior officer hesitated. "Sir, shouldn't we inform the local government?" Wells rolled his eyes. "They're too naive to understand. Let the children play while we handle real business." Back at the presidential palace, Traoré, now in uniform, watched the viral clip of his own humiliation. His face betrayed no emotion. "Initiate Operation Clean Mirror," he said quietly. Within hours, encrypted channels were breached. British surveillance nodes went silent. A decoy plan lured Wells's team into a staged meeting on the outskirts of the city. There they were met by Traoré's elite counterintelligence unit, silent, precise, unmistakably professional. The confrontation was swift. Agents were disarmed, devices seized. Traoré stepped into the makeshift war room. This time, he didn't wear civilian clothes. Wells froze. "You? What the hell is this?" "I am Captain Ibrahim Traoré," he said, stepping forward. "President of Burkina Faso. You've been operating on my soil without consent, under false pretenses, undermining our sovereignty." One agent tried to flee. He was quickly restrained. "You called me a terrorist," Traoré said, eyes locked on Wells. "But the real danger was sitting in this room." Documents were exposed, recordings played. The evidence of MI6's covert influence campaign was overwhelming. "You used diplomacy as a mask," Traoré said, "but this ends now." Wells was speechless. Cameras captured the moment. The same networks that mocked Traoré now watched the British chief with shame in his eyes. Within 24 hours, headlines flashed across global news. Burkina Faso busts British spy ring. Interpol confirmed collaboration. Evidence leaked to the public included forged diplomatic cover identities, bribes, and plans to destabilize local governments. Wells and his agents were escorted to the international terminal, under heavy guard. A new video emerged. The once arrogant Wells handcuffed, red-faced, shouting, "This is a mistake," as Burkinabe soldiers in red berets stood firm. Behind them, Traoré addressed the press with calm precision. Today we dismantled a foreign network designed to subvert our nation's future. Burkina Faso is not a pawn in someone else's game. The clip of Wells shouting was overlaid with Traoré's voice. True strength is knowing when not to speak. It went viral in minutes. Parliament backed Traoré's executive order. All British operatives identified in the network were permanently expelled. The UK embassy scrambled for damage control, but Traoré stood unfazed. No one, he declared, no matter how powerful, may infiltrate the home of the brave. The former intelligence outpost was converted into the new headquarters for Burkina Faso's National Intelligence Corps. The building's facade now bore a new seal, a golden stallion under a rising sun. In a historic gesture, Interpol's Director General issued praise. Burkina Faso has set a global precedent. Sovereignty must never be compromised. Across the capital, thousands marched in celebration. Flags waved, music rose from the streets. People chanted, "We guard our own." A mural appeared days later on a public wall. Traoré standing tall, flanked by security forces with the phrase, "The Gatekeeper of Africa," painted above. Months after the scandal, Burkina Faso stood stronger than ever. Under Traoré's directive, a full audit of all foreign contracts was launched. Layers of covert influence were peeled away, revealing years of manipulation. But this time, the tide had turned. The new National Intelligence Corps recruited and trained local talent, many from rural provinces. Young men and women studied cybersecurity, cryptography, and diplomacy. A new generation of guardians was rising, rooted in pride and purpose. In a televised address, Traoré spoke to the nation. "Our sovereignty is sacred. We have faced colonial shadows for too long. Today we stand in the light." Across Africa, leaders applauded his stand. Civil society groups launched campaigns inspired by Burkina Faso's stance. "If they can do it," one headline read, "why not us?" Even global watchdogs acknowledged the shift. Burkina Faso moved up transparency rankings. Foreign NGOs, once dominant, were now partners, not masters. And the people responded. In Ouagadougou, a sea of people filled the main square. Children carried signs. "Our president protects." Street artists painted scenes of resistance, unity, and rebirth. Traoré's face became a symbol, not of power but of vigilance. He visited the new training centres speaking to recruits. "Never underestimate your worth," he told them. They laughed at me too until they saw the truth. On social media, #GatekeeperOfAfrica continued to trend. African youth, inspired by his leadership, began sharing their own dreams of national pride. When asked by international media if he feared retaliation, Traoré smiled. "We don't fear truth. We fear silence. And as long as I breathe, this land will never be silent again." The story of a man mocked in a meeting had become the story of a nation reborn, and the world could not look away.